So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go from Cleveland. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native. At quarterback, it's Baker Mayfield. First carry for Nick Chubb. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield looks to throw, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man, big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker. Still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Deshaun Watson so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 43 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt. Go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And Lamar Miller caps it off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. CD, we got a little time here before Cleveland takes their next snap on offense. Quite a ride, really, for the Browns in 2019. Freddie Kitchens really hardly knew you. Gone after one season. Remember, people had elevated the Browns, not just playoff contenders, really, but Super Bowl contenders in the preseason. But that 6-10 finish brought them back to earth in a big way.
Well, let's go back to the preseason, and we did talk about those high expectations. I think that you and I both pumped the brakes on the Super Bowl talk. I thought playoff talk was legitimate. And when you look at this roster, whoever ends up taking over as the head coach of the Browns, they should be very happy with the talent that they have and a chance to chase a division title in the AFC North. So we'll see if this team matures, learns from this past season where expectations were too high and they didn't come close to meeting them. But I think it's a roster well worth noting that they can make some noise if they come together and play at their best.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A big play there on the catch and run, 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with Sek. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
These two teams all tied after one. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
A first down carry now for Miller. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Lamar Miller, touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans have taken the lead.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play that time for Cleveland. 49 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 17 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
You're ready. You're ready.
Football going back to the Houston Texans. Got another AFC South title this year. Their 4th in 5 seasons. No early exit in the playoffs. They came back to beat Buffalo and OT in the wild card round. Then that stunning 24-0 lead against Kansas City in KC. And you have to imagine they're going to be seeing Patrick Mahomes in their dreams all offseason. Probably a lot of nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Kind of reminds you of a Metallica song, doesn't it? Right? I mean, with those kind of nightmares, you don't want to go to sleep. But I go back to something you mentioned earlier. Another AFC South title. Their 4th in 5 years. That's a lot of success that I don't think they get credit for because they haven't had that super deep run in the playoffs. They got to, what, the divisional round this year in Kansas City with a chance to go to the AFC title game with 24-0 lead. If that happens, I think we look back at this Houston franchise in a little bit different light instead of kind of short shrift. Hey, 4 titles in 5 years in the division. But what do they have to show for it? That's the tough part for Houston.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 27 yards there, a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run on first down. It's Miller. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the 29, Watson dancing to his left. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Second down and goal. Watson got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass as his guys are able to regain the lead. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, and now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow, they're bringing their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Room here to run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So all the way down close to the goal line, good blocking up front, helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him, gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Watson being chased out left. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here, one.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
On first down, Watson forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On first down, it's Watson. Flushed out right. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime, and there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll toss it to Miller. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On second and 12, Watson. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a second and long after the holding call. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 41 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. They run again on first down. Chubb broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A run for Nick Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Handoff comes to Chubb. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Taking it in from the 20 as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, It almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go!
And here comes the Texans now. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Number 53, Mike 53. Let's go.
Back to throw, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Chubb with a carry on first down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On the carry, it's Chubb. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 41 yards. And once again, the Browns are back in front. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Mayfield now, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That good for 22 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Watson now to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. The 30. 10. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And again, it's Chubb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So from the 39. Now they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he's taken down inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Chubb. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run. Chubb. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is third and inches. A give. This is Chubb. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a first and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. They'll run with Chubb, and he takes this one in for a Browns score. A 5-yard touchdown run, and the Browns have retaken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down by 7. A minute 55 remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
They come out here in the eye. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down one. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. 5 plays there on that drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Again, it's Miller. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. First throw in OT for Watson. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the pistol, they'll run with Hyde. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. They run again with Hyde on first. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke of.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. On the corner blitz that time, the sack goes to Denzel Ward.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.